everybody. Today's Sterling Day, which you guys live for.
Good morning, everybody out there in Linda's channel land. Yeah.
Thank you. And anytime you want me to come on yours too.
We'll start doing that. I've had some time, commitment problems. It's not that
Right.
we're going to do it. I just
Okay.
got to get the schedule arranged in a way with everything, going on. So all
I would
good.
I would be honored.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you to Sterling's wife, Linda, who helps collaborate. Oh my God. All the questions she gets, she must, but the good
She
thing
does.
is she still remembers, so she knows what's a repeat.
Yeah. I mean, literally, she's dealing with thousands of questions a month. I mean,
Right.
thousands between your show, the shows that we do on our channel. It's a lot of questions. Yeah.
Right, right. And they're good questions too, by the way. And to
They are.
my helper, Dan, who gets them to her, and she makes sure that they're not repeats.
Exactly.
All right. So here we go. Question number 1. Oh, do you have any housekeeping you want to bring up before we start?
Nothing in particular, no.
Okay, just double checking. And I'm good too, you guys. So no, I'm not didn't have to get the boat out. Okay, number 1, am I wrong in thinking there's something fishy about classified documents being found in Biden's office?
Well, no, I mean, what I get on that is the timing's a little odd, but the whole event is that my team's been telling me it's a lot of sloppiness due to a lot of Biden aides. Not to throw anybody under a bus, but a lot of sloppiness, my team keeps telling me. So, it's like, wow,
You know what? I know you don't watch me. Your wife does, but we don't like to watch each other. So we don't.
I actually I don't watch anybody, just the time doesn't allow it. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. That's exactly what my guide said too.
Yeah.
And kind of half-assed, like a lot of people should have been on this. It's just not all up to him.
Yeah. So it'll go through a lot of, investigations, and then the end it'll come out, okay, real sloppiness, real, not attention to detail, slap on the hand, kind of a thing. So.
Right. Okay. That's good news. Okay. Will the Republicans succeed in getting rid of payroll taxes that help to fund Social Security and Medicare?
No, not at all. No, don't see that happening. I see, a big fight, a big, schoolyard brawl, but I don't see it succeeding in taking away payroll taxes. No.
Okay. Will the FBI and Homeland Security, as well as the Pentagon, be accountable for the lack of support to the Capitol Police on January 6th?
And that's the Pentagon and the FBI. Is that what they said?
The FBI and Homeland Security.
Oh, Homeland Security.
As well as the Pentagon.
Yeah, I don't see the organizations overall being held accountable, meaning I don't see, but I do see individuals being focused on. So there are key individuals that will be asked to leave, and there is some litigation there with key individuals, but not the whole organizations. I don't see. Yeah.
Okay. MSNBC recently did a story about ultra-right activists still being in government positions like the intelligence agencies, Homeland Security, and such. They are trying to subvert the Biden administration agenda. Are they still there? Have they done, or will they do damage to Biden?
Well, they're still there. So what is going to happen here, we've already seen a lot of this now, creating a lot of havoc. So hard to get information gets slowed down. Things get leaked, that don't look attractive to people. So they're going to cause a lot of havoc, but I don't see a lot of legal strife, if that makes sense, like really having anything that's substantive that takes people down. So,
okay. This is a good one. Will the Freedom Caucus Republicans not raise the debt ceiling? According to experts, not raising it will destroy the economy.
No, they'll eventually raise the debt ceiling, but it's going to go right down to the wire. And the only unfortunate thing is that it looks like there's going to be a lot of negotiations with both parties. So it's going to get a little ugly, a little uncomfortable for both parties, but they'll eventually raise it. They will.
Do you see some of the Republicans that are in Biden counties not wanting this to take place and maybe working across the table and voting against the Republicans that want to make our country go under.
Yeah, no, I do. And what I do see is that, unfortunately, the Democrats having to give up a few pain points here and there to get the debt ceiling raised, so things Democrats may not want to give up, so it's a big negotiation.
Okay.
But right at the last minute, with like a minute to spare, the debt ceiling gets raised. Yeah.
And may I ask, it may be in here, and I just gotta
Mhm.
ask, will they actually manage to cut Social Security and Medicare?
I don't see it.
Okay,
No, I
thank
don't
you.
see it.
I know you've already said that you see water floods for this year, but do you see record-breaking heat for the summer in the USA?
I do in a couple of specific areas in the nation. If that question's about the US, I think.
Yes.
Like South Central, like Texas, that kind of a region. And also Northeast, interestingly enough, New York area and Boston. It looks like there's some record heat going on kind of Northeast and South Central. It
Wow.
does.
And
Yeah.
they have those brick buildings.
Yeah.
There are many different kind of orbs. Some orbs are white, semi-transparent, others are dark in color, some have faces in them. Is there a meaning behind different colors?
Yeah, good question. The higher level, let me think, there's size configuration, there's a color configuration. So the brighter white and brighter blue and violets are usually angelic energy. As you get down towards the cooler whites, or more towards the red spectrum, a lot of times it's family members or even pets. And the size of the orb has a lot to do with energetically how strong they are on the other side. So
Wow.
typically angels are larger orbs, family members are smaller orbs, pets can be smaller orbs. Yeah, so there's a size and color designation. There
Wow.
is.
Hi, Sterling. Do you see a tsunami for the East Coast in the Atlantic sometime soon?
No. I do see a lot of earthquake activity out on the ocean with the tectonic plates, but I don't see it creating any large tsunamis for the East Coast. Yeah, little waves, things that happen with some of the major storm activity, but not a tsunami that comes in miles inland, that kind of thing, no.
Okay. That one in Japan was amazing. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
Okay. I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, and when I did, I looked out the window to see a foggy mist. I hear about those foggy mists a lot.
Mm-hmm.
As I was standing there, the fog started to swirl and appeared to be coming toward me quickly, as if to come through a window, as if to come through the window. I jumped back and it actually scared the crap out of me. As quickly as it came, it was gone. What was that?
That's a loving family energy. So there's a family element there trying to connect with you. And of course, they're always apologetic when they scare you. So you should leave. But they're really just trying to come around you, almost give you like a big hug from the other side. That's what that's all about. If you welcome it, you'll actually feel the energy, so if you don't get scared and run off, you'll feel the energy.
Awesome. That's cool. Will the removal of magnetometers from the Capitol enable any attempts of the lies of Congress? They're removing those things, remember?
The magnetometers.
As a taxpayer, I think it's well worth the money to keep our Congress safe. I don't understand. And so Lauren Boebert? Somebody said, oh, this is take your gun to work day.
Yeah, interesting. I do see an increased level of threat, but I don't see death and destruction, but I do see more conflicts happening within government and Congress because they move those magnetometers. But it looks to me like my team was telling me that a lot of the Capitol Police are now more highly armed. So there's they've ramped that up now. And I even see them hiding major weapons in various places of the Capitol where the police can get them faster. So they've done some things here that haven't been put in the media to ensure that what happened on January 6th, they never get close to that again.
No, there was some people trying to show up for something, I can't remember, and they nipped that in the butt.
Exactly.
And with all the stuff coming up with Trump, I think a lot of those terrorist cells will start acting up, but I'm not seeing Armageddon, so.
No.
Will we ever move to reduce automobile dependency in the US? Will high-speed rail in much of Europe and Asia ever take off here? Why or why not?
Yeah, and so this is interesting. You have to look at this. My team's telling me like on a 2-decade trajectory. So let's say the first 10 years ahead of where we are now, and then going out 10 to 20 years. So high-speed rail in the US is never going to be as prolific as it is in other parts of the world. However, you're going to see a lot of short run, what they call hyperloops, underground and even above ground. So you won't see as many, but well, let me put it this way, as many large long hauls like, Los Angeles to New York, that kind of a thing. But you will see a lot of like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Los Angeles to Vegas, let's say Los Angeles to Dallas, New York to, so you're going to get hyperloops. So I do see that happening. Yeah. And
Okay.
above ground and underground, they're telling me. Yeah.
What do you see for Australia for 2023, politically and economically?
Yeah. So kind of a split here. It looks like democratically and politically, they move ahead in pretty solid footing to me. Politically and democratically, it looks like they're sane. Looks to me like they do have, same kind of economic problems the world has with inflation and those kinds of pressures. The place that what concerns me is what I see right now regarding Australia is they've really got to manage any kind of aggressiveness or threats from China. And that has to do with resources, whether they're natural resources in Australia or it's threats to the oceans around Australia. So that the bigger place for me around Australia is the government staying after keeping China in check, being very careful how they work with China. Yeah.
Okay. Will the financial market in the US be better than last year?
Well, it's still gonna go through a lot of cycles, stock market and housing, but what my team has always said that as we get out at the beginning of 2024, so leaving 2023 behind, that's when things start to feel much more comfortable. Now, I don't see major inflation or major recession. I do see a lot of pressures on the economy. So everybody's got to be careful with their money and but it looks like everything eases up as we get out to the beginning of 2024.
Okay. My son is, he doesn't put a lot of money in stock, but he knows how to do, I don't know how to do stock.
Mhm.
And he lost about half of his income, not income, half of his stock. And he let it sit there and he said about a third of his is back right now.
Cycles, many cycles in
Yeah.
the stock market still coming. Yeah. And they're deep cycles, by the way. They're deep cycles. So
Okay. Well, the main thing, he's young, so he can leave it in there and let it work. He doesn't have to live off of it. How will Biden and Democrats be feeling at the end of 2023? Will they get things accomplished to help the American people?
yeah. So the answer to the first question is, so my team just told me they're going to feel exhausted. So it's like, everything's a fight, exhausted. But it looks like a good 1/3 of all the things that like Democrats try to put forward actually gets passed.
Okay.
So it's almost like a football team pushing down the field. You make progress, but it's going to be, hard progress. Yeah.
Exactly. Could you please ask if there will be a cure for rosacea? I have that. My dad had it too. And there's a thing, Metro something that Kaiser gave me, and it takes it away right away.
Interesting. What my team was just telling me is that there's something coming out of the oceans that's natural. So whether it's like sea kelp or seashells or something, there's something here natural, organic coming out of the sea. And like within just a few years here, no more than 5 years, but faster, it's going to be widely available. And so it's more of an organic solution. It's coming. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh, okay. My question is about Prince Harry. Why did he publish this book?
What I get on that is he felt threatened. So he felt the only way he could fight back was to like strengthen his own voice. And he felt the book would do that for him because he didn't feel like he could go up against the monarchy and the press and the media in the UK without something else in his arsenal, so to speak. So I really felt, I keep getting, he felt threatened and he had to get the word out. Yeah.
Right. Oh, they're just so angry.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. The king is his father and Diana was his mother.
Mhm.
As a father, I would try to work it out. I wouldn't air my dirty laundry, but I would just wish that the king, who doesn't speak to him anymore, would speak to him again. Okay, I just read that the GOP House has voted to create a committee to attack Jack Smith. I didn't know that. Oh, sorry. Will the GOP succeed in stopping his prosecution of 45 or others, or slow it down significantly?
No, not going to stop it at all. But what I do see is it's almost like week to week, there's a challenge here, a challenge there. It goes to court, it gets ruled on, and then, Jack Smith is back on the road. So it looks like it's almost like throwing, ping pong balls at a ship. They keep
Right.
bouncing off.
Right.
It won't stop the overall momentum that's ongoing now. Yeah.
Well, Benghazi, hello, they ran
Mhm.
that to the ground, desperate to find something to lay on her, and they never did. That's what
Exactly.
they're going to do
Yeah.
now. They're going to be, and also you better show up for the subpoena they give you, but it was okay for them not to show up for their subpoenas. So should we help a stray animal, like feeding them or get them adopted? Or are we messing up their life path? Are we stressing them out, or do they appreciate that we're trying to help? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, an interesting question, but the answer is very straightforward. All animals are here to help us. So the person asked this question was more reflective on how am I helping the animal, when the real life lesson is how is the animal helping you?
Isn't that
So
something?
you absolutely taking care of stray animals and all of that. That's the gift you're actually giving yourself, but you're helping the animal. But all animals are part of the angelic realm. We talk about this all the time.
Yes.
And they're actually here to help us. So I like the way that person asked the question. It's actually the animal helping you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. 45 has been lashing out at Jack Smith lately, suggesting he is a criminal. He calls him a terrorist too. He is acting this way because he knows Smith is truly going to charge him. Or actually, is he acting out this way because he knows Smith is going to charge him? He's afraid of something. He's going great.
No, I think 100% that's an accurate statement, because I do believe that the group of attorneys that's still working with 45 behind the scenes, they're saying, look, you better take all this a little more seriously. Like you're not going to be able to fight this one off. And absolutely. So that's why 45 is going aggressively after Jack Smith. Yeah.
Someone gave him the truth and he didn't like hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Will there ever be a cure for body dysmorphic disorder, OCD?
Yeah, there will. And it's no longer than like 4 or 5 years here, interestingly enough, but because I actually read on this a number of weeks ago, somebody asked this, but the reason that there is a cure for it is it's coming out of the testing and science behind OCD study, obsessive compulsive disorder. So neurologically, it's somehow related. And so it's like what they figure out on OCD then helps with that particular disorder. Yeah.
Can you tell me what body dysmorphic disorder is? Do you know the symptoms?
Yeah, I think I'm not an expert, obviously not a doctor here, but it's not an accurate view of your outward appearance. I'm not a medical doctor, but you're not seeing things accurately. So I think in some respects, maybe you're skinny as a rail. You think you're still fat, or or something going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously different than any of the stuff that like Robin Williams wrestled with. That was a whole different. That was Lewy body dementia that Robin Williams wrestled with. But I think, I mean, if there are doctors out there, they'll correct us on the show here. But that's my understanding of what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Why isn't 45 and others going to jail for tax evasion? Well, they haven't actually confirmed 45 being a tax evader yet. They haven't charged him as such.
That is the answer, is that those trials and those indictments haven't come up yet, but they will. And it looks like there's going to be, the family is going to have a lot to contend with in that area. So there will be convictions and even some jail time. Not for 45, but the kids here.
Yeah. And I see them taking a good chunk of change from them too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll show you guys. This is for entertainment purposes only. What do you see coming up for next week, my friend?
You know, I see a lot of legal and court transactions involving 45, so continuation of things going on around the world for him and documents. And I
Ooh,
also see a lot of legal activity and things going on around the Biden documents. So, you know, the whole circus is about to start around all this. I do see that. The other thing I was picking up this week for next week, which is interesting, is a lot of information regarding Russia and space race, space station problems, aggressive behavior going on, trying to take down satellites. So a lot of things involving Russia and space
interesting.
coming up this week. So we're going to uncover a number of things going on here. It's like, oh, that's what they've been up to. So they're not sitting on their hands regarding what's going on in space. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? You heard it here, you guys. Oh, you know, one of my prophecies for 2023, which is pretty common prophecy, but I saw it in a foreign country, airline crashing, and an airline did crash last night. And
Nepal. I think there was a
Nepal,
plane that went down in Nepal. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have any message for your guides that you want to share from your guides?
Yes, simply, and this is a familiar message, but a lot of people need to hear it, is be kind to yourself. Because when you're kind to yourself, then you're kind to the rest of the world and you reflect that. So I always get the messaging. A lot of people are very hard on themselves, people that watch these shows, and start being kind to yourself, because then that reflects out to the world and that actually helps make a kinder world. Yeah.
Right. And you know, there's I know, you know, based on the people that write to you and the people that write to me, such kind people. There's really good people out of there.
Mm-hmm,
But they can be really tough on themselves.
Yeah, and that's a problem. That slows everything down in your life when you're overly hard on yourself. You know, accept truth, forgive people around you, forgive yourself, but be
Right,
kind to yourself in general and go on, because we're in school every day we're here on the earth. So you know it's a learning experience, and get through the learning. Yeah.
right. And you know, that I am not worthy stuff. That's a little bit of stuff you were taught as a kid. Oh, you're not good enough. And then you'll carry that with you.
Very true.
So how do people reach you, my friend?
Very easy. And we have a YouTube channel, as you know, Sterling Psychic Medium. And if they need to reach us for a session, just go to the website, sterlingpsychicmedium.com, look for the book a session tab. It's very easy from there. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Wonderful
Once
getting
again,
together.
wonderful meeting with you. We sure missed you. People were writing saying, did I miss the show? Because I haven't seen, no, he wasn't coming back till the
We were just
15th.
taking a little time off, and it was nice having a reset, you know.
And you look rested too, by the way.
No, it was just not, it's nice getting a reset. We all had a busy 2022, and so it was nice getting a reset.
Yeah. Well, I hope the weather stays calm for you. It's supposed to stop raining in the middle of the week here, so hopefully, and we're supposed to have a couple of weeks of dry weather, so that'll help. I'm not complaining about the rain, you guys, because we needed it.
Yeah, and that so far so good for all of us. So yeah, stay dry. That's the
You know what gets me? I've gone through a pretty bad drought in California in I think it would have been the 1980s, I think, because I think I just started working as a nurse. And you know, I remember that feeling of not flushing toilets and all that stuff. And then now, and what happened was we got plenty of water, and the water company decided that we had too much water, so they had to raise the rates. So they raise the rates when you don't have enough water, and they raise the rates when you have too much water, and it never goes down. And just now on the news, they're saying, oh, the water companies are thinking, no, we're not quite out of the but hello, I know it's going to take a couple of years, but we got a pretty good load of water here.
Yeah, and they showed that for California specifically, we actually went down in 2 warning levels for drought.
Wow.
But the problem is, there's still got another 3-4 year western state drought here because of the Colorado River. So a lot of the reservoirs haven't filled up. The Colorado River, that's the problem. So yeah, California looks like it's kind of okay right now, but that's going to subside. So there's major drought that the western states have to be concerned about. Yeah.
Okay, well, like it's 123% of normal, even with the snow. But let me ask you something. My son said that water in California, 10% is for human consumption. The rest is for agriculture. Is that true?
I don't know what the exact percentages are, no, but it's it's split between 4 or 5 different areas where all the water usage goes, even some of its power. So, yeah, I mean, we just don't have enough flow into the state, in the Western state. Colorado River is the biggest problem.
Okay. Yeah, because he said the almonds take a lot of water.
Yep.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. And
One,
we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
absolutely. All the best to everybody. Take care.